Hey guys, this is JR with Fieldstone. I'm going to show you the new Media Manager in Fieldstone so that you'll know how to use it on your next job. On the screen, I've got my iPad open. I'm already in a job, 2518. You can see that up at the top. If you see, there's a menu item here that's new at the top called Media. You tap into that, and then we'll talk about the link section next. I'll come back to that. We're going to tap on Capture at the top. This is where you want to drop your photos in, or videos, or documents, and then choose. And I'm going to drop in some photos of equipment and the data plates. You drop them all in at one time. Some filters. Done. Once you tap done, sometimes this takes a second, it'll drop all these photos into Fieldstone and process the media. Wait for that to finish. And then once that's done, we're going to go over and tag the photos. So at the top of the tag screen, you've got data plate selected. This is what I've got right here at the top. You can also select star. But we're going to do data plate, and you want to select which photos are data plates. So this is one for my condenser. I'm going to select that, and then you get this notification at the top that we've got one selected. Scroll down and look for more data plates. Here's one that's in my furnace. Another one. And that looks like all the data plates I have on this job. Once you tag all your data plates, we're waiting for the photos to sync. Once the photos are synced, then we'll be able to analyze those data plates. But while we're waiting on that, we can organize the photos. If you want to change how they're sorted, you can grab them and move them around. I like to put my data plates at the top. Still syncing up to this. So we talk about star. So star is something that you want to highlight in your job. To highlight this extra piece of junk that's on the side of this furnace. I'm going to highlight the corrosion on the top. That's probably good. And then the before and after tags, if you, let's say we want to clean this condensing unit, I'm going to clean it, we'll mark this one as before. And then you could come back and add your after photo later on. Looks like it's still syncing. Let me go to my screen here and make sure it syncs. Then we'll go back to jobs. That's the one I was in. Cancel, I hit the button by mistake there. Tag. Okay, now it's ready. So we're going to analyze data plates. We're going to hit that button up there. And what that's going to do is it's going to take those photos that we indicated were data plates, and it's going to try to pull the data out of the photos. And it'll generate our system definition from those data plates. Okay, and so now they're ready. So when it's ready, you just tap Review Results, and you'll get this screen. And the first option is to create a new system, and we're going to do that because this job site doesn't have any systems on it. Conventional split is the right kind of system, and this is a Rude system. All three of those data plates belong to the whole system. It got the manufacturer year and month correct. You can double check those as you go. And we're going to create new equipment on it. It knows that this is an AC condenser. This is actually a heat pump condenser. So you can change that if you want. HP condenser. Sometimes it can't get that off of the data plate. The make, model, and serial should be on here. You'll want to double check that. But you'll always have the photo with the job. So if for some reason it isn't right, or you find out later it's not right, you'll have that photo to reference it. Year and month manufactured, the tonnage, the refrigerant, compressor type it didn't get here, but if you know it, you can put it in. I'm thinking that's a scroll. Single phase, power phase it gets, refrigerant charge it pulled off, and it got the nominal voltage off of there. And then it has some analysis notes, and so it's going to throw some stuff down here in the analysis notes. Sometimes you'll see information in the analysis notes that doesn't show up above it. And then more equipment. So this is the furnace down here at the bottom. We're going to create, and it's selected which data plate photos belong to the furnace. Gives you your make, model, serial, when it was manufactured. In this case, input capacity, it left output capacity blank. It shows natural gas, which is what it says on the label, but we know that in this case, this is propane. So we're going to put propane because we know the right type. And then it's also got media analysis notes for that equipment and analysis notes for the whole system down at the bottom. And then once we've got all that checked, we just hit save. And then that system's created now in Fieldstone. And if we go over to organize and scroll down, now, there we go. So all the way down at the bottom, it went ahead and put the data plates with the condenser and the furnace inside the system to organize the photos. These other photos, it doesn't look at those. So what we want to do is just check the check, and then we'll pick our condenser photos. Condenser, condenser, condenser. That's furnace, 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 filters. And so we're going to move, just tap right here. We're going to move all those under the condenser. And then we're going to tap all our inside unit. Inside furnace, 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 furnace. And we will move all of those under the furnace. And that's kind of all there is to it. Now I'm going to show you link. So if you're on a job site and you've already worked on equipment that's at the job site, it's already in the system, you go to link and you'll see the system here, and you'll see media that's already attached to the system. If you want to attach the media that's in this area to this job that you're on now, you just leave it checked, or check it if it's unchecked. These are tappable. You wouldn't have to. Normally you would leave the data plates. If you've already been there and taken photos of the data plates, just link the data plates to the new job. And that's all for the new Media Manager. If you have any questions, you can reach me by email, jr@fieldstone.io.